Now, when you say to someone, have you ever told a lie? Expect predictability. Mark my words, read my lips. This is what will happen. You say, have you ever told a lie? And they'll say, yes, I've told one or two. You say, what does that make you? You want them to say liar. They'll say human, normal, just like everybody else. Have you ever told a lie?
Yes, I have.
So what does that make you?
I guess human.
If you ever bore false witness, this is serious business. You'll burn like biscuits. Lying lips are an abomination from Satan. It's producing a nation full of hypocrites. It's mixing black and white like Oreos. The punishment is more than a nose that grows like Pinocchio's. Fire and brimstone will be your new home if you're changing stories like a game of telephone. If your words are deceitful, you'll be greeted by evil people in your death sequel. Satan's diminishing God's glory while he's prowling. While you telling stories bigger than J.K. Rowling, you'll be thrown into the incineration for telling fabrications that are Caucasian. God took the lives of a man and his wife after they told one lie in Acts chapter 5. Your deceit may seem discreet, but his wrath you will meet when you stand at the judgment seat. God's nature is misunderstood. How can you claim to be good while still uttering falsehood? There's no such thing as a small lie. You will still fry after you die. That's a nice try. I hope that you listen. If you've been telling stories that are fiction, the judge will give a guilty conviction.
Well, they'll say, you mean to tell me that if some lady comes to me and she's wearing a really ugly hat and she says to me, do you like my hat? That I have to tell the truth, that I can't tell her that it's a nice hat, that I'm lying? Well, there's a difference between discretion and bearing false witness, and God knows the difference, and we do deep down. You know, Jesus said something interesting to those in his time that justified themselves and sought to cover their sins. He said this, you are they who justify themselves before men, but God knows your hearts. For that which is highly thought of in the sight of men